In a developing story, the Crawford County Sheriff's Office says one person is dead after a house fire in Dyer earlier this morning. Deputies say the call came in just before 4 o'clock this morning to a home on Daybreaker Lane. Deputies say 4 people were inside the house when that fire started. 3 were able to escape, but 1 person died at the scene after emergency crews arrived. Fire marshals are now waiting on search warrants as they work to determine what caused that fire. 5 News reporter Bo Russell will have the latest information for you on your 5 News at 4. The Fort Smith police officer shot during a DWI investigation last month, Kyle Newman, has been moved from the ICU to a rehab facility. Newman was shot in the neck and has since been in critical condition. Police say Officer Newman's recovery is now focused on continued healing and rebuilding strength. They say he still has a long recovery ahead of him, with the department planning to continue providing updates. Funeral arrangements are underway for the Centerton police captain who died in an explosion this past weekend. Chris Kelly was killed at his farm in Gravette. Visitation services will be next Monday at First Baptist Church in Rogers. The funeral will follow on Tuesday. The Benton County Sheriff's Office says there will be an escort and they'll share the route coming up in the next couple of days. Iran has escalated its attack on Gulf neighbors, targeting countries with U.S. military bases. Kuwait says it's intercepted more than a dozen incoming ballistic missiles and 17 drones. It comes as President Trump says talks with Iran continue, but the U.S. is still awaiting a response from Tehran to its latest proposal. Natalie Brandt has more details from the White House.
Smoke and flames filled a terminal at Kuwait's international airport following an Iranian drone and missile attack early Wednesday. Officials in Kuwait say at least 1 person at the airport was killed and more than 60 others injured. It was part of one of the biggest strikes on U.S. allies in the region since April's U.S.-Iran ceasefire began. Iran says it's targeting American bases as well as ships violating its approved route in the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. blockade on Iranian-linked ships also remains in effect, with CENTCOM releasing video of a strike on a ship it says was trying to break through.
We have the blockade, which is amazing. Our Navy is great. Our military. We have the strongest military in the world.
The escalation comes as the Trump administration insists negotiations are continuing despite mixed messages from Iran.
Hopefully will lead to the point where Iran will give up its enrichment ambitions, will turn over the highly enriched uranium, will stop sponsoring terrorism around the world.
The conflict in Lebanon also hangs over the talks, with Iranians insisting Israel is violating the ceasefire with its attacks on Hezbollah. President Trump confirmed he had a contentious phone call earlier this week with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
I wouldn't say angry. I was a little bit perturbed at his constantly fighting with Lebanon. You know, at some point I said, maybe we got to stop this.
The fighting between Israel and Hezbollah continues, despite President Trump saying both sides would stop. Lebanese media says 2 paramedics were killed in Israeli strikes in southern Lebanon on Wednesday. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
A federal judge is rejecting Josh Duggar's attempt to overturn his child pornography conviction. Duggar, the former 19 Kids and Counting star, was convicted in 2022 and is serving a 12.5-year prison sentence. Duggar appealed to have his case heard by the U.S. Supreme Court. It was denied in 2024. He then had 1 year to file a motion to vacate his sentence. According to court documents filed Monday, the judge ruled he didn't follow that timeline and denied his motion. He's being held in Fort Worth and won't be released until 2033. An Arkansas state trooper resigns amid allegations of racist views revealed in court documents. Michael Austin Kennedy resigned May 15th, 2 days after his estranged wife filed for divorce, accusing him of being a white supremacist. The court filing included dozens of screenshots of text messages allegedly sent by Kennedy that contained racial slurs and other offensive language. 5 News is not showing the comments due to their nature, and they are publicly recorded. The file also alleged Kennedy bragged about arresting minorities and overstepping his authority as a trooper. Arkansas State Police confirmed Kennedy's resignation and an internal review. The agency says it does not tolerate discrimination or bias. New data shows methamphetamine has overtaken fentanyl as the leading drug involved in overdose deaths in Arkansas. That's according to the Arkansas State Crime Lab. Fentanyl deaths have dropped 27% over the last 3 years. Meanwhile, just this year, meth-related deaths rose nearly 10%. The state chief medical examiner says what makes this trend concerning is methamphetamine overdoses don't have the same emergency treatment option available for opioids.
We know that naloxone is good at potentially reversing the effects of a fentanyl or opioid-related overdose. However, when someone overdoses on methamphetamine, there is no reversal agent.
Emerging drug trends is critical, and they hope that identifying shifts in drug use earlier can help communities respond before more lives are lost. Fort Smith Board of Directors have unanimously approved an $8.5 million project to help improve the Mazard water treatment plant. It's another consent decree project. The city says it will solve one of the largest sanitary sewer overflows. The city's director of engineering says around 15 million gallons of untreated wastewater have been discharged into the environment in the last 4 years from the plant. He also says the State Department of Health is requiring the city to complete the project by December 2028. Now to a story we've been following since February. A Fayetteville homeowner is set to get compensation from the city. The resident's home was damaged after the city incorrectly located a sewer main. A previous city rule only allowed sewer damage claims to be compensated up to $100,000. But the homeowner said the amount of damage his home saw was way above that cap. So the city council amended the ordinance, and now sewer damage claims above the cap are permitted on a vote with unanimous consent. Now the homeowner will get a $140,000 payment from the city.
I want to apologize to the Scrocky family for all that you have gone through. I hate that this situation occurred and unfolded the way that it did. I know that there are a lot of lessons that we have learned as staff. I bet it is hollow comfort, however, that they weren't learned before and able to make this situation easier on you.
Well, now to some exciting news, and not surprising, Fayetteville is once again the best place to live in the SEC. U.S. News and World ranked Fayetteville number 131 as in its latest best places to live list, ahead of every other city in the Southeastern Conference. The rankings evaluated more than 850 communities across the country based on quality of life, job opportunities, value. City leaders credit Fayetteville's outdoor recreation, local food scene, arts and culture, and Razorback spirit for its continued appeal.